It's Cal.
And Kymah.
And we're back with another video. And today we're going to do how our parents found out we were furries. Because I say found out because we didn't exactly tell them.
Well, I told them, but it was, yeah.
Yeah, she told her parents in a way, but my parents kind of just, they found out the wrong way. we're furry trash.
We're very trash. I'm pretty sure our roommates hate us. We kind of kicked them out for this.
Alright, so this whole like coming out as a furry thing, like you shouldn't have to come out as a furry because it's just a hobby, it's a thing you're interested in, so you really shouldn't have to come out. And like for me, I tried to avoid telling my parents. It was more like they kind of found out on their own because I didn't see a need to tell. I just didn't really need to tell people. Like if they saw my Instagram or my newsfeed on Facebook, I mean, I try to keep it avoid from that, but like if somehow someone's looking over my shoulder and saw I'm staring at a cute fucking raccoon photo or drawing, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome, you know, and they asked what was that for, like, well, I'm a furry, I guess. Get over it.
I guess how my parents found out was I found this video of this fursuit. It was more like a year of fursuit making or something, and it was their progress over the year. And it was really cool, and I was like, oh my god, these people have costumes, and I've always loved dressing up as an animal and pretend to be like animal people with anthropomorphic animals. And before I even knew what the fandom was. Other people do this is really cool. And like the suits were so cool and so new, and I absolutely loved them. I thought they were the coolest thing, and I'm like, I need one. Like I was 14 and I just really wanted one. So I bring it to my parents and I'm like, oh, no. Mom, Dad, look at this thing. I had no idea that it was a fandom. I didn't know anything. Oh God,
you poor child. You poor child. Come here, it's okay. Shh, I got you now.
It's such a traumatic
You didn't know. You didn't know.
Like, Mom, Dad, look how cool this is. And like, I didn't really ask them to buy me one or anything. I was just like, look how cool. I was really open with my family at the time. My mom goes, she like gives this weird look and she's like, you know they're for sex, right? And I'm like, no, they aren't. I'm like, no, they aren't. They're not. And I like, that's what my mom said to me, and I'm like, even before I even knew about the community, I'm like, I was like really defensive against this group that I didn't know anything about other than they look cool. But I made shitty fursuits because I wanted one, of my parents were like, no, they're about sex. So I was like, no, I'm just gonna make one. I'm gonna do it anyway. So I delved into the fandom, I looked into it more, and I did find out, yeah, there's that part, which, yeah, there's that part. And, I still like the fandom. I was like, I still want one. So I went ahead and I made some. And then my mom, like after seeing me make it and being really like, you know, excited, my dad was always supportive of me. After my mom saw it, she was like, oh, this is cool. Like my mom even like recently, she made a persona. My dad brought me to our first con, which was cringy as hell.
Next video.
But yeah. Like, shout out to my parents for being so supportive of me during that. And after a while, my mom now tells everybody she knows about it and shows them my fursuits and my
that's
art.
Cringy.
I went to my first ever actual like payroll job. I worked with my mom, and she worked there months before me. So when I got there, everybody knew I was a furry, and everybody had seen my work, and they would always ask me about it. And I was like, I really don't want to talk about this. This is work. That's my life. Please. I didn't want to talk about it at all. But anyway, like people loved it, and my parents would tell everybody, and everybody would know. So I would just walk out, and they'd be like, "Where's your fursuit?" And I'm like, "How'd you know?" She took off with that. So how did your parents find out that you're a furry?
Oh my god. I mean, obviously, I guess I've been a furry since like 2012-ish. So I think the first time my parents ever kind of like, I think caught wind or may have like, they could have figured it out back then. Like they really could have just like, oh, you know what, he's probably a furry. In my mind, they didn't know until recently. When me and Kymah started talking a lot more, and like it was brought up that, hey, I met a girl, it's awesome. And like, oh, where'd you guys meet? And it's always like, oh, we met online. Oh, what website? It's just whatever. It's just some stupid messaging forum board, even though it's Anthrocon, which I was right, because it was kind of like a forum thingy that they had that we met on. So that they kind of, I guess maybe they got an inclination there as well, but that was maybe I guess another.
I just always said I don't remember what site it was because we switched to email so many years ago.
Yeah,
so,
email.
Yeah.
But the real dead giveaway was mainly because of you. It's because of you.
I'm sorry.
So my mother had found out that she creates suits. Because she had posted on her Facebook and all that and made the whole thing that my mom found. And she kept questioning me like, hey, what does she do? And I was like, oh, well, she makes costumes for, kind of like those mascot things and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, all right, that's whatever. And it was kind of just brushed off, like never brought up again. Yeah, we were recently back home in Florida. Like, we live here in Hawaii, but we went to Florida where I'm from. And so we're home and we're having a huge like welcome home party for me. It's awesome. Yeah, I got friends everywhere. We're drinking, having a good time. And like there's like 12, 20 of us just in like one giant circle in my backyard. And my mom just out of the blue says, "Hey, what's the name of your wife's company?" And I was like, "Well, it's you can talk to her, ask her about it. It's whatever." Because I'm trying to just push that conversation off. Have a good time. And she's like, "No, what's the name of it?" And I'm like, again, no, I'm good. I'm good. Like, just ask her. I don't want to talk about it. And she's like, well, damn it, I need to know. And I'm like, oh shit. And I was like, listen here, Mom, I love you, but no, no, you can ask her. And then my dad jumps up basically and is like, what if I want a beaver costume? Oh, no.
No.
So my dad says this, like, what if I want a beaver costume? And suddenly everyone stops. Like, they would, like, drinking mid-sip, just stop and stare directly at me because we're like, oh, fuck. And my mom's like, yeah, what if we want to have one to have sex in?
No.
And it's like, just boom,
no.
Done, over, I give up.
No, oh my God. Oh, God, I'm so glad I wasn't there. Oh, shit, dude. Oh, no.
And, obviously,
I feel violated.
I was pretty upset at the time. I snapped at her and, some harsh words were said, and I was like, it's not what they're for. That's kind of bullshit that you kind of get in my personal life. And I kind of got really defensive.
So much of it. There's another furry there.
Yeah.
His brother's fiance is a furry, and thank God she didn't open her mouth.
So, yeah, they were immediately, like, asking about it, and I told them it's Little Wanderers. It's her fursuit company, just her, and making a couple suits here and there. So, eventually said it, and like, okay, good, was it that hard? And I was like, yeah, that's my personal life. Like, stay the fuck out of it. That would be nice. Yeah, and then we had, like a 20, 30-minute discussion about furries, and why it's not all about sex, and like all my friends again are like, dude, there's a wall here, there's so much sky, like where'd all this come from? Just trying to just not make it awkward, but it was just, oh my God, it was so awkward.
God.
And hopefully it'll never be brought up again.
It's the worst when your parents bring up the sex.
Yes, we're a couple, we are married, yes, we have fursuits, but no, we don't have sex. Well, no, we have sex. In suit, never in suit. That's not what these things are made for. Like, even right now, I'm very, very hot. Very, very hot. I mean, we live in an apartment with no AC in the middle of summer in Hawaii. You think, oh, it's like 70 degrees year round. Bitch, no. It's like 90 and it's hot. And what's even worse is like being at my job and doing what I do, I like, you have personal life and you have work life. I am two different people. I'm two very different things. It just depends on who you're around. You're different to many people. Very different. And I remember one time, I guess someone followed my Facebook a little too much at work, and like we're at the gun range one day, and he's like, hey, so you and your wife are furries? And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I looked dead him in the eye, and he's obviously lower ranking than me, and I just looked at him and was just like, you shut your fucking mouth. You don't tell anyone about this, and don't get in my personal life. If I want to tell you, then I'll tell you. If you find out, then keep that shit to yourself. It's not because I'm like, embarrassed, a little embarrassed, little bit. That's because of what the outside world sees and I'm not trying to be a part of that. I just want to just avoid it, let me do me, and with other furries and other friends, I like that.
Yeah, we're open inside the fandom, but outside the fandom, we're kind of like,
and close people.
All right, guys. Well, I guess we'll end it here. And what are your stories? Let us know down below.
Yes, I would love to read about how you guys, I guess, came out to your friends or family. Yeah, link. Go ahead and give a comment, like below, and let us know.
Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.
Bye.
You just want attention.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna do a little ending thing. Alright, so I gotta do an outro? Yeah, I wanna do an outro real quick. What?
That wasn't the outro. I guess we'll end it here and then we get into our outro.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I love you. Shh, my child, my child.